Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're going to dive into something that is literally sitting right on our dinner tables, yet it's hiding this massive secret that most of us are completely clueless about. I mean, think about the most common staple food in the entire world, rice. You've probably eaten it, thousands of times? But do you realize what actually gets left behind when they process the rice we eat every single day? Today, we are unlocking the hidden treasure of the paddy grain. Star Rice Bran. It's a pretty bold question, right? Are we actually throwing away the absolute healthiest part of our daily food? Billions of people all over the globe eat white rice every single day. It's totally fundamental to the human diet. But, okay, let's dive into this. What if I told you that in the process of making that familiar, fluffy white rice we all love, the true nutritional treasure of the plant is just stripped away, and honestly, often entirely discarded? So, here is our roadmap for today. Section 1. What is rice bran? Section 2, bran versus white rice. Section 3, vitamins and antioxidants. Section 4, surprising health benefits. And Section 5, animal feed and cosmetics. Section 1, what is rice bran? Discovering the hidden treasure. To really wrap our heads around this, we need to quickly look at the anatomy of just a single grain of paddy. It's basically a three-part system. Right in the center, you've got the endosperm. That's the starchy core. Then, tucked down at the bottom, there's the germ, which is the tiny reproductive engine that would eventually sprout into a whole new plant. And finally, wrapping around all of that, holding it together, is the bran, the tough outer layer. Now here is the absolutely crucial point. During the milling process, when raw paddy gets turned into the white rice you buy at the grocery store, both the bran and the germ are actively stripped away. So, to give it a formal definition, rice bran is that super nutrient-dense outer layer of the rice grain. For the longest time, this layer was just tossed aside during milling. People thought it was nothing more than an agricultural byproduct, basically just waste. But, well, modern science tells us a completely different story. This outer layer isn't waste at all. It's actually the plant's nutritional vault. It is literally where the plant stashes its most vital, protective, and life-sustaining elements. Section 2, bran versus white rice, the Great Divide. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive gap between what we actually put on our plates and what we throw away. The contrast is just stark. Look at fiber. Rice bran is incredibly high, while white rice, really low. Vitamins, super high in the bran, terribly low in white rice. Minerals, same story, high in the bran, low in the white rice. And when it comes to antioxidants, they are everywhere in the bran, but barely register in the processed endosperm. This just shows you the insane nutritional drop-off that happens the second that bran is removed. The white rice we're left eating is mostly just starchy carbs, completely stripped of the rich, complex nutrition that nature originally packed it with. Section 3, vitamins and antioxidants, the nutritional vault. Okay, so what exactly is locked inside that vault? Well, if we break down the specific chemical compounds and elements trapped in that paper-thin bran layer, it basically reads like the back of a premium multivitamin bottle. Seriously, we're talking about huge levels of vitamin E, plus a really robust complex of B vitamins. It's absolutely packed with essential minerals, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc. And beyond all that, it's got highly beneficial plant-based protein and some incredibly healthy fats. It is a total powerhouse nutritional profile that supports pretty much every basic function of the human body. But you know, there's one specific compound in rice bran that really deserves a special shout out. It's called Oryzanol. Oryzanol is the super unique, very special compound found right inside the bran layer, and studies show it actively helps lower bad cholesterol, what your doctor would call LDL. By pulling this bad cholesterol out of the bloodstream, Oryzanol acts as a massive defender of cardiovascular health, actively lowering your overall risk of heart disease. So think about that for a second. We are quite literally milling away a compound that actively protects our hearts. Crazy, right? Section 4, surprising health benefits, beyond basic nutrition. So, how does all this science translate into your everyday life? Just think about the biological chain reaction that kicks off when you consume the intense amount of fiber found in rice bran. Step 1, you take in that high dietary fiber. Step 2, this fiber immediately gets to work on your digestive tract, massively improving digestion and cutting down on issues like constipation. Step 3, because fiber is complex and takes longer to break down, it gives you a prolonged feeling of fullness. You just don't get hungry as fast. This naturally stops you from overeating, making rice bran this incredible built-in tool for sustainable weight control. Oh, and those antioxidants we talked about earlier, they are constantly running in the background, protecting your cells from damage caused by free radicals. Now, because of all these amazing benefits, food scientists figured out a way to extract the oil directly out of the bran, creating rice bran oil. And let me tell you, this oil has become a wildly popular, heart-healthy cooking alternative all over the world. Why? Because it keeps so many of those protective benefits. It's got a really high smoke point, so it's perfect for frying or high-heat cooking. It has a super mild flavor, so it doesn't hijack the taste of your food. It's low in saturated fat, and crucially, it stays rich in all those powerful antioxidants. It's just a fantastic, easy way to bring the hidden power of the brand right back into your kitchen. Section 5. Animal Feed and Cosmetics, Beyond the Plate. But the story of Rice Bran doesn't just stop at dinner. Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer contrast in how it's used today. On one hand, the agricultural industry heavily relies on it to nourish livestock. It acts as this incredibly dense, vital source of energy and nutrients in the feed for cows, buffaloes, poultry, and, yeah, even fish. But on the total opposite end of the spectrum, it is being used to nourish human skin. Because it is so loaded with vitamin E and antioxidants, high-end cosmetic brands extract these exact nutrients to create premium skincare products meant to protect and rejuvenate your skin. I mean, from a cattle farm to a luxury cosmetic counter, the versatility is just staggering. And that crazy versatility, it has absolutely skyrocketed global demand. Rice bran has gone from being this discarded, annoying byproduct to a foundational resource across a bunch of massive global industries. We've already touched on the food industry, cosmetics, and animal feed. But get this, it's also being used in biofuel production as a renewable energy source, and it's a huge player in the creation of everyday health and nutritional supplements. When you zoom out and look at the big picture, the massive agricultural powerhouses of the world are perfectly set up to capitalize on this. Take India, for example. As one of the top global producers of paddy, India has a massive, massive abundance of rice bran. What historically was just a low-value byproduct of their giant rice milling operations has completely transformed. It is now a critical nutritional and industrial resource, driving huge economic value and pushing widespread health benefits. It's a real game changer. So, we've journeyed all the way from the microscopic layers of a tiny grain of paddy right up to these multi-billion-dollar global industries. We've looked at the dense vitamins, the heart-protecting power of Oryzanol, and the totally stark contrast between what we keep and what we throw in the trash. So I want to leave you with this final thought today. Knowing the hidden power, the sheer nutritional vault that is the bran, how are you going to look at your next bowl of white rice? Are you going to just see a basic staple food, or will you find yourself wondering about the treasure that was left behind? Thank you so much for joining me on today's Explainer. Keep learning, keep asking those great questions, and I'll catch you next time.